going to talk about something that all deer hunters kind of need to know how to do, and that is caping out a deer.
This week on Kentucky Afield.
We're going to be making 3 circles here, one around the body and one around both legs.
An important skill for every deer hunter is knowing how to cape a deer. Taxidermist Bobby Carey is going to walk us through the process step by step. Next, the end of summer doesn't just mean it's deer season.
So how old is Soup? Soup's 2.
Small game hunting is here too. Then, it's also an excellent time of the year to get out and target some of the state's most impressive sport fish.
You got a muskie on. It's big. That's a good fish.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl. Yeah, boy. That's a big rabbit. Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Mercy Leo!
Yeah, look in here, it's a keeper.
There it goes! Boom! Oh!
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. There's some new important information regarding the deer herd here in the state of Kentucky. Now let's hear from our Commissioner, Rich Storm, for more information.
I'm Rich Storm, Commissioner of Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources. I want to inform you about a recent development in the state of Tennessee that affects us here in Kentucky. A wild white-tailed deer from northwest Tennessee, less than 10 miles from our border, recently tested positive for chronic wasting disease. This disease has not been detected in Kentucky, but the proximity of this detection so close to our border means we're activating our CWD response plan. CWD is an always fatal neurological disease of deer and elk. While this may be disheartening news for deer hunters, including myself, what's encouraging is the fact that Kentucky Fish and Wildlife has had a plan in place since 2002, and we are prepared. You can view our CWD response plan on our website at fw.ky.gov/CWD for specific information on the location of the positive test in Tennessee and our next steps in response. Please read our news release and regularly visit our social media channels. Once again, these and other helpful resources are available through our website, fw.ky.gov. We'll provide updated information as it becomes available. As always, thank you for your support.
One of the best ways to prevent the spread of CWD is by not moving a deer carcass, which means you may need to know how to cape your deer. Today I'm here with Bobby Carey of Carey's Taxidermy, and we're going to talk about something that all deer hunters kind of need to know how to do, and that is caping out a deer. Handling a good trophy mount starts in the field, doesn't it?
Right. You got to really make sure you're not dragging it around and losing hair, getting it wet. Try to keep it dry because that's where a lot of the bacteria sets in really quick and you'll lose hair and it's not going to look too good on your mount.
What would be the very first step you would do after field dressing?
If this was my deer and I'm going to start getting it ready for the taxidermist, he came down right to where the breastbone starts, and that's about where you want to stop your cutting on your fur. We're going to be needing about this much of his cape around his body. We're going to do a complete circle around this, and we're going to be cutting from the inside out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab a pair of gloves and we'll get started. What do you think?
Sounds good. We're going to be making 3 circles here, one around the body and one around both legs. So I'm going to start cutting here.
Circle 1, huh?
Yes. Just go ahead and get the other circles cut here and just go all the way around the deer.
Okay, this is circle number 2.
A lot of taxidermists use a scalpel blade. It's a little cheating, but you can get these too. We're going to be following that white and brown, and we're going to take it all the way up to where we made our cuts at.
We're going to do that on both sides?
Yes. I think we got it here.
All right, I'm going to trade you sides.
Okay. And same thing on this side, just follow the white and brown line.
Okay.
If you're not sure where the white and brown is, to be safe, just kind of go out into the brown a little more.
Okay.
All right, got our lines cut. We're gonna go ahead and start peeling some of the skin off the legs here. It's just kind of a slow process. Just take your time, keep the holes minimum.
Yeah, I would think that was the most important thing. If you poke this and put a hole in here, that could be something you're gonna have to try to fix later on in the process.
Right. It's just best not to do that, and it makes for a nicer mount. It gets a little where the meat tries to stay attached to the skin here, so I always like to put my fingers underneath the skin and always know where it's at. You don't want to cut your fingers, so that would kind of help you not cut the hide. So,
Gotcha, okay.
even though I haven't cut the hide and my fingers.
Hey, if you ever talk to a taxidermist that says they've never cut their fingers, you're talking to a liar.
Yes. We're gonna keep rotating it here. And you can do this without a hoist. I've done them on the back of the trucks or whatever. It just, you gotta keep flipping them back and forth, which is harder on you. This is the best way to do it. It does a really good job. And like I said, this is just kind of tedious here, but just gotta take your time. And if you leave meat on the hide, it's no big deal. I can get it off later, so don't worry about that. Just concentrate on not tearing the hide. And this area right here is where you really need to be careful, because this is the most critical area. And like I said, this is where his armpits are, and this is going to be part of the mount. So you really need to take your time and just kind of feel the fur and the skin. And
This right here is the part of the mount that a person's gonna notice first, other than the antlers.
you don't want to see a big cut and where some taxidermists had to sew it up and you can see the hairlines messed up. We're just going to take the rest of it down to the neck as far as we can get it. And,
Okay.
And what we're going to do, I'm going to cut where I'm going to be cutting with a saw and get the meat out of the way, and it'll just be the spinal cord in there.
All right.
And we'll get the saw out. There we go.
We're at the point right here to where if you were gonna have a taxidermist within the state you harvested the animal, do your work, this is where you would stop. Now, if you were gonna travel from out of state into the state of Kentucky, we still have the brain matter and probably some spinal column here that
Right.
would need to be removed. So we're gonna move this to the table and pick it up at that point in time to go ahead and finish this process out. I see you have a tape measure here. The couple measurements we're gonna get are from the very tip of the nose.
Tip the nose to the corner of the eye.
So you want to take these measurements and then jot these down and just provide these to your taxidermist so they can make the most realistic possible mount. What's the next step?
I'm going to go ahead and start skinning it. I like to use the V cut from burr to burr, so I'm going to be doing a V here. Put the screwdriver underneath there and start tearing it off there, and then coming back out with a little short incision here. And I'm just going to do a little pre-cutting here. I'm going to be cutting this ear off here at the connection point. So then I'm going to be getting the screwdriver out again and using it back here a little bit, get the rest off the burr.
A little bit of twisting, a little bit of cutting, a little bit of
Yes.
prying, all that's involved.
Yes. We'll do the other side here. Okay, and I'm going to turn it over and we're going to skin this mouth out. Every taxidermist does a little different, but I'm going to attack this from both ends here. Again, you don't want to be cutting holes in the face. That's where it's the hardest to hide in the face. Take this nose off here. It's got some cartilage in here I'm going to be cutting. You know, a lot of customers do their own Euro mounts, and you still need to do this process.
Be good if you were in an anatomy class for wildlife too, because man, you kind of
Yes.
get a good idea of what all this looks like.
All right, I'm going to turn it over again and try to get this cape off the back of the meat here.
Okay.
Just kind of going back and forth on the outside.
Yeah, just rotate it around and make your way around the face and just pulling all the hide forward, huh?
Yeah. I'll take my finger and put it inside the eye around the skin so I won't cut that eyelid. And then just stay really close to the skeleton here.
Eyelashes and everything is staying on the hide that you're going to be using. You
Yes.
want all that on there
Yes.
because that's what really makes it look good.
Yes, occasionally you'll lose hair follicles and bristles and stuff, but the more you keep, the more you realize that it does add to the mount. Okay, just kind of keep going back and forth. Finish this other burr here.
So really the tools you're going to need, obviously gloves are nice, but you're going to need a couple of really sharp knives, scalpels if you got them,
Yes.
a tape measure, a screwdriver or something to be able to pry that hide away from underneath the bottom of the antler.
Right.
The amount of work that you have to come through to make this thing look identical to what it did in the field, and the precision that you have to go through. It's pretty amazing.
Right, it's a lot of work. I mean, people complain about prices a lot of time, but there's a lot that goes into it, a lot, behind the scenes. So you got to pay for quality. It's the amount of time that each taxidermist spends on it. That's what you're paying for, the time you're spending on your deer.
So if you were out of state and you were going to bring this deer back in, this portion here is completely legal to bring in.
Right.
Let's say you're going to be traveling several hours. How would you handle this to make sure that it's best preserved?
I'm going to take these ears and roll them up into the hide. It helps protect them because the tip of the ears and the nose would be the first thing that would get freezer burned. I would put this in a plastic bag or two, and if the hunter had time to put it in the freezer overnight, and it'd be nice and cold for the trip. You do not want it at the bottom of the cooler with ice on top of it. You want it on top of the cooler and really bag it good so it doesn't get any moisture at all.
Taking the prize portion off, the antlers, you want to make sure you cut and leave enough to where you've got solid bone in between all this, right?
Right. And I'm just going to cut an inch or so in front of the pedicles here and same in the back, just so it'll fit into some of these forms I have. When you're doing this, you don't want to cut his antlers at all, so you got to really be careful.
Yeah, those bone saws are made to cut bone. They do great on bone. They don't do real well on fur or meat, do they?
No. All right, now we're gonna flip it around, do the front. And it's pretty hard on that top there.
This old boy's been fighting. I'm sure it's a good thing it is hard.
Yes. And you was talking about the brain matter, and there's plenty of it right there that you wouldn't want to go across state lines with, so that needs to go. I'll clean up the excess meat, and we'll get this membrane off here.
There you go.
I'll put a little borax on it to dry it up. I'll just kind of dip these antlers down in it. Just spread it and rub it all over the inside. And that will dry up that meat, keep the bugs off of it, and you're good to travel.
Well, Bobby, I tell you, I appreciate the education on this, and transportation of deer parts are becoming more and more restricted. It's becoming more and more important as a hunter, if you think you may want to preserve your trophy with a taxidermist, to know how to do this.
Right.
The fall brings forth many new hunting opportunities, including small game hunting. Well, Jeremy, we've been talking about doing this for a long time. People are used to seeing you on, giving us all of our law enforcement information, but what they don't know is that you're an avid hunter.
Oh, I love to hunt. Deer, turkey, squirrels, small game.
We're right down the street from the area you patrol, and we're on a WMA. We're on Green River WMA, and you've got a squirrel dog with you today.
I do.
Well, let's meet your dog.
Okay.
So how old is Soup?
Soup's 2.
2 years old. So have you had this dog since he was a pup?
We have. We got him when he was about 8 months old.
Well, I know you and your son have been hunting for years and years together. So when he was a little kid, did you think he was going to become the captain here, conservation officer?
I didn't know he'd be captain, but that's all he ever wanted to do, I think, from the time he was real small.
You just hunt squirrels and squirrels only with this dog, right?
That's it. That's all. That's all he hunts.
You get out and you hunt one time behind a squirrel dog, you'll definitely want to get you a squirrel dog.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Do you think he's treated?
Oh, he's treated. He's treated.
He's ready. Well, we better get rolling.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad, if you'll keep walking around, we see it, we're just trying to get it to move. Oh, that's going. We need a shotgun, don't we?
There's a nest right there he's trying to get to.
Got him. He's coming down.
He's laid back and hung up. There he is. There we go. Nice job. I'll tell you what, that squirrel there poses a challenge.
With all the leaves, and he was pretty nervous when we came in. He started moving.
Yeah.
And there's the second one.
Oh my gosh. So the one was shot and hung up in a vine, and we saw a second squirrel thinking it was the first one.
That's exactly right.
We got 2, and we got plenty to go.
Yes,
nice
sir.
job.
Good work.
Good job.
This is an awesome place to bow hunt. I don't take advantage of it like I should.
It's a beautiful wildlife management area, I'll tell you that.
It's right up here. I think he hit it that time.
Oh, he ain't dead. He's on the move.
Put it down.
There you go. Oh, perfect amount of lead on that dog to keep him off there. Nice shot, Mr. McQuarrie. Little gray. Nice job. Hey, Soup Tree didn't kill when we saw that thing, but we needed your dad to come in and shoot it out.
He had to finish it off for us, didn't we? We had to call in help.
We had to have backup. He got it.
Good
though.
shot, Dad.
Nice job. You know, they say going hunting with the conservation officer, it can be fun, can't it?
Oh yeah, it's a lot, we have a lot of fun.
You can tell he's got a passion for it. I mean, the way he handles the dog, and just watching him go through the woods today, he's making future trips. He's planning future trips and thinking about deer setups. And,
Right.
you know, that's what it takes to be a good game officer.
I think so.
You have to know what's a hunter going to be out here looking for. Where are they going to want to set up? And you know, most of our conservation officers, matter of fact, I don't know any that don't hunt.
Yeah.
They all want to spend time outdoors. That's why they became a conservation officer.
Got him. That's a sow.
We get our game bag within our game bag out.
Keep things from getting so messy anyway. There you go. Good job. It's been pretty fast paced as far as treeing goes.
Oh my God. I will bet my boat that when you turn her loose within 3 minutes, she's treed.
It's gonna happen again, huh? Good job, buddy. Good job.
Tell me a little bit about how these dogs hunt differently than
The difference mostly between this dog, the mountain cur, and the feist is feist are most of the time going to use their eyes. They're going to focus mainly on tree and squirrels by sight. And Soup, like I said, he's an original mountain cur. He'll use his eyes some, but it's mainly going to be his nose.
Okay. Better reload, huh? Get ready.
I think so. Fingers crossed. Go ahead, buddy. If you got a good shot.
I can't find his head.
He's little. If you want me to.
Yeah, you got him.
Uh-oh, he's starting to run.
Yep, he's on the other side of the tree. There he comes. Nice shot. That's teamwork. This is something you can do by yourself, but it's a lot more fun when you got somebody to talk to, carry on with. And a lot of times, it takes someone running around the tree to get a good, clear shot.
It truly is what you said. It does take teamwork with the dog and the hunters.
Yeah, exactly. Cooling temperatures brought forth in the fall can really heat up the fishing here in the state of Kentucky, including the muskie. Today we're out here on beautiful Cave Run Lake. I'm here with Reed and Ryan Claytos, and we are in search of muskie. You know, actually, I found out about you two. I got a phone call from one of our fisheries biologists.
Yeah.
And he had said that, Ryan, you had caught a 53-inch muskie this year, right?
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago. Oh, it's 50. It's 50. Oh my God. Ryan! It's 50. It's 50. It's 50. Get him! Get him! Get him! We will die if we lose this, Dad. Just hold him. Just hold him. Oh my God. Oh my God, we got him! Yeah. We got 50! We got 50! Oh my God! We got 50!
So I called you, and it just so happened I wasn't even thinking about it. I was in deer hunting mode. But I started thinking, wait a minute, right now is a great time to catch a muskie. Maybe we need to go fishing. So here we are, and we're gonna try to catch us a muskie today. You've caught a 53.
Ryan caught a monster.
Yeah. And what's the biggest one you've caught?
A 49.5 inch.
So you've both caught almost 50-inch muskie. You have caught a 50-inch muskie, and you're 13. So how old were you guys when you started muskie fishing?
About 11.
About 11.
We started.
And both of you have caught multiple fish this year, and you've caught multiple fish throughout your life. What's your favorite technique? How do you like to fish for them the most?
Well, I mean, we just like throwing it out there and reeling it back in.
Okay.
Because they're striking at baits, we reel them pretty fast.
Okay.
So we
Like when you have a fault up, we like to like make the
like on the figure 8, yeah.
like on the figure 8, we go around the corner and then we make a fast turn and then we go around and we go make a fast turn because they want to strike at it.
So you're kind of playing cat and mouse with that big fish a little bit.
Yeah, you're trying to get
It's
that
like
bait
a bait
away from
fish.
it.
It's like a bait fish. You're trying to make it run away from it.
Your sister and mom and everybody in your family musky fishes, don't
Well,
Mom and Hannah
don't. Bella, or our sister, she does. She likes it.
they? Your family's caught more musky than most people that I know that have fished their entire life.
Yeah.
You got a muskie on.
He took our fish. Hopefully not. It's big.
That's a good fish. Let's see, he's over here. So that is your dad.
Yeah.
Your dad's over here fishing beside us, and lo and behold, look, he's hooked up with a big muskie,
Took our fish.
and your sister is netting it. So did you ever see that fish before it hit?
Nah.
What did that thing hit on? Was it an inline spinner?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted you all to find that fish.
Don't stick your hand in that hook.
There you go.
Oh, that's slimy.
Look at that fish. What a beautiful fish.
He has a fan cut.
That's how they age those things. Certain years they'll fin clip it. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. That's great.
You know, that's a typical fish here.
What's that fish there? Probably 32, 34.
He's pretty close to the keeper.
What's the keeper? 36, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's beautiful. I knew the boys were picking the wrong boat when they decided to come with me. We fished pretty hard. I haven't seen any fish, but you have seen one or two, and lo and behold,
Yeah.
right behind us, you stacked one.
You know, when you turn them back loose, you know, let them grow a little bit. You know, that's what makes this a good fishery.
Oh, absolutely. You guys are pretty lucky. You got twin brothers. You guys get along really, really well. You got a fishing partner for life.
Pretty much.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of fun sharing the boat with you guys, hearing your stories, and I love how you guys just really enjoy fishing together. And September is your month for muskie. Next year, September, I'll be back. Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have 10-year-old Mason Glass, who already caught a fish of a lifetime. Here he is with a muskie caught at Tigert Creek in Carter County. Here we have a nice largemouth bass that was caught by Tyler Parton at Prisoner's Lake, which is a Finn's Lake. Here we have Barry Dame, who got his very first deer, a nice buck out of Slaughters, Kentucky. He got this deer on the youth weekend. Here we have a nice heavy antlered buck taken by Jake Ivy. This was a 9-pointer that was taken from the family farm in Anderson County. Congratulations. Here we have a great picture of Shelby Took, who caught her very first fish ever, a largemouth bass from a farm pond in Anderson County. Nice job. Here we have a cool picture. We have 4-year-old Dawson McPherson with his very first fish, a nice bluegill that was caught at Cedar Creek Lake. Nice fish. Here we have Chloe with her very first crappie ever caught from a boat on Cave Run Lake. She was enjoying the day of fishing with her aunt and uncle. Nice job. Check out the size of this flathead catfish. It's nearly 20 pounds, caught by Esau. He's 4 years old, and he caught this fish in Flemingsburg, Kentucky. Here we have Sunny Zirkelin with a nice bluegill that she caught in a farm pond in Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. Check out this beautiful blue catfish that was caught below Smithlin Lock and Dam while fishing with our buddy Jim Doom. This fish was caught by 14-year-old Isaac Chandler. Nice job. For more information about CWD, go to the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife website at fw.ky.gov. But do not let it stop you from deer hunting. I'm about to hit the woods right now. And remember, Hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.
If you hold a Kentucky hunting or fishing license, then you have helped make possible Kentucky's wildlife management areas. Places to hunt, fish, birdwatch, or just let your mind wander. With nearly 100 dotting the Commonwealth, put wildlife management areas in your sights and see more of what makes Kentucky's outdoors outstanding. Get all the info online at fw.ky.gov.